What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. So we got some DN Duel commentary. We got a Qliphorts sighting. Oh snap! We have KOG, Al Just GF. Okay, we'll just call him Just GF. 1773 versus C Wiley 9 1822. Some really high ratings here. So Just GF, he played Summoner's Art and Duality turn 1. That got him the setup of Scout plus Sacrifice, and he has his Stealth. He already maxed earlier in this turn, so he will draw cards anytime Infernoids are summoned. Blind maxing isn't really that bad against Infernoids. Got a Fiendish Chain on Stydamus. Looks like he's gonna MST that. Okay. Stealth is not going to die, of course, it being unable to die by battle because of Sacrifice. I wonder if he'll banish. I mean, you have to banish the Scout, right? Yeah, I would think that you'd have to banish the Scout. I mean, there's a chance your opponent may have another Sacrifice or another monster they contribute for, but you don't want Scout. They're just getting like whatever they want. So he does, in fact, banish the Scout. Maxi is just a 1-for-1. Mills a couple of cards during the end phase. GF doesn't have to worry about Regeki, as C Wiley just sent that to the graveyard. I think they're both about even right now. I'd probably lean a little more towards just CF, because if he does tribute, he can get Scout right back, and he'll probably have a full Pendulum Zone, plus he'll have a Stealth to summon back. So and I also don't think that Stydamus is I don't think Stydamus is that hard for this deck to kill. Now the only thing is, Qliphort don't really have a way of sending back to the deck or anything, so it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like they can really, I don't know. I mean, it seems like, maybe he could tribute for another Stealth or something like that. Cause he could just, if this hits the graveyard, Sacrifice, he could obviously launch it. He could use Stydamus to banish it. I'm pretty sure they're all, what's it called? They're, yeah, okay. I'm just making sure it's monsters. I mean, it's not only monsters, but yeah. So, when this goes to the graveyard, he could use this guy. This guy activates at a cost. He could end up banishing the Sacrifice, making sure that it doesn't trigger. I don't know if I'd want to do that, but it's an option, depending on how afraid you are of the Sacrifice search. So it looks like he just played Summoner's Art. I think he got Scout. I actually missed it. I looked away for a quick second. It's only 2 targets in the deck. You either get Monolith or you get Scout. You know what's crazy? I actually looked like, he potted Duality for Monolith earlier in the duel. He didn't take it, but have you seen the price? Monolith is like $40. Like, what the freak? Monolith came out in not New Challengers. Probably Secrets of Eternity. Because New Challengers are when Qliphorts first came out, so there was no Monolith originally. So it had to be Secrets of Eternity to set right after the Infernoid set. Alright, so I guess Just GF is just thinking about his play here. I mean, he can just attack over the ride, and that's not really the big issue here. He needs to kill Stydamus. Stydamus is just, it's a card that you don't want to have to deal with, because, you don't want your Scouts getting blown up. The MST was really clutch, and hope he didn't die. Alright, what's he gonna, come on dude, make a play. I mean, you ain't playing Necros here. This is not stall deck 101. So he is gonna activate that Scout. I mean, I'm thinking he's gonna search for a tribute if he doesn't have one. Qliphort disc is, man, it's been such a long time since I've seen a disc. I forgot what his attack is. I think it's 2800. Qliphort disc would be a really good card here. I would consider getting Qliphort disc, because Qliphort disc could clear this out. It could clear this out. And when the monsters die, you can just, during your next turn, you can just summon them back. So yeah, he is going to get Qliphort disc. I think this is the right call. He is, of course, going to tribute that Scout, or excuse me, the Stealth for disc. See, right here, he can actually activate Stydamus' effect, and he can actually banish this. He can actually banish the Sacrifice, and it will not resolve. Oh, he's not going to get, okay, he's not getting 4s. I thought he'd get 4s. He's getting Monolith and Carrier. I think I might have done that. And he's going to get another Monolith to draw another card. Because then that would have stopped the search. And your opponent has already used Scout. Like, personally, yeah. Because it's like, you're going to lose your Stydamus anyway. I mean, I don't know if maybe you think you're going to get OTK'd or something. Oh, well, never mind. He pendulum from his hand too. I didn't expect him to pendulum from his hand as well. That kind of changes things. Okay, so actually, Yeah, he might have actually gotten, if he would have tributed Stydamus, he actually might have gotten OTK'd. Had he been me, yeah, he'd have gotten OTK'd. Cause, well, no, he wouldn't have had the Pendulum Scale though. So I don't know if he would have, cause I don't know the last card in his hand. So he takes an enormous amount of battle damage. Obviously he'll lose some of his monsters, but he'll still get to draw a card. He should have only drawn one card, cause he only tributed one monster. Okay, so he's gonna put Helix back on top of his deck. Okay, I'm like, wait, why are you drawing two cards? You only tributed one monster. Alright, so play goes back to C. Wily. Now you gotta remember, he does have obviously the big monsters left in his deck. The big monsters would be Onu and Devati, like those are the cards that could really bail him out. Or Reasoning can bail him out too. I would call one here. Hits it on Tundell, hits Galaxy Cyclone. Galaxy Cyclone is big next turn. Oh my god, he's just going nuts! Now, he doesn't get the Decatron, but does it really matter? You got a Galaxy Cyclone for your next turn, assuming you see that. And you got Onu and Devati. So you will be summoning one of them, and you're gonna nuke something on your opponent's side of the field. This is why Infernoids is such a sick, stupid deck. It's because of Reasoning, man. That card at 3, yeah, it took a long time for Infernoids to get good, but when we got the right build of them, then, you know, it's pretty much just like, alright, what can we do now? How can we show the world this deck is so good? I expect him to summon Devati, over Onu, because I think cracking the scales is more important. You can just attack the monsters one by one in Qliphorts. We're gonna have to worry about that. Cracking the scales is like way more important. If you kill the monsters and you don't kill the Qliphort player, they're just gonna pendulum everything back in defense and they're just gonna stall. So if you crack the scales, then you just kind of wreck them. Also, he doesn't have any more scouts. Both scouts are gone. So I'm gonna switch advantage to C. Wily, and I'm gonna say that he has a significant advantage. Plus, even if he summons Onu, he still has 4 cards in his hand, and he has a Galaxy Cyclone for next turn, in case he has to deal with a skill drain or anything stupid that he doesn't want to deal with. In addition, he also has Void Seer to protect him from Regeki. So I'm going to say he's at a huge advantage. Now, it looks like it's C. Wily's turn to think now. If he's clicking on Dis, yes, Dis is unaffected by monsters that are like 6 or lower. Okay, this time he's playing a 1 for 1. Thought that he might summon Devati first, but you know, he's in fact gonna go for that 1 for 1 play. Looking to set up a Devati play, or excuse me, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting Decatron, yeah. Looking to set up a Decatron play. Puts a Harmadique in the grave. Okay. There's an ice cream truck driving by in my neighborhood. That's crazy. I mean, I know I live in the South and everything, but it is technically October. I mean, why is there an ice cream truck in October? Whatever, man. Alright, back to the duel. Whoa, is he going for a Synchro Shokan? Oh, he's going for the Black Rose play. Oh, Lord. And, yeah. He's gonna wipe the board clean. And that's the unfortunate thing about Qliphorts, man. If you don't have any back row, the deck is very susceptible to mash removal, a la Exiton Knight and Black Rose Dragon, because the deck generally puts all of its resources on the field. Now let me just read this guy real quick. I believe it's 7 or lower, right? Whose original effects are lower. Yeah. So these are both 7. So this should die. The Qliphort disc. If the monster is the same level as the monster, it is affected. Or rank, same thing, rank or level. I don't think you're gonna see Infernoids ever summon or, well, no, that's a lie. I've summoned rank 7s in Infernoids before. Dracosac, the Red Eyes Flare Dragon, and Big Eye. Yeah, those are the only 3 you need. Alright, so now he's going with the Onu play plus on Tundell. It's not game though. He still has 100 light points. Banishing a whole lot of good stuff. And looks like he'll attack. Keep in mind, he can negate any spell or trap that Just GF wants to use, and he only has 3 cards, so. And he really can't use removal either, because Void Seer is in the graveyard, so Regeki will not work here. What's he gonna do? Man, Onu is just a really good card. I mean, I don't think you really need to run that many of it. I think I would let that go. I think, yeah, because now you can't special summon. That Necro Valley would have been so good like 2 turns ago. Yeah, if he would have had that Necro Valley instead of if he would have had that Necro Valley instead of that Maxi, that would have been so good for him. Alright, so looks like we're going to game 3. Actually quite surprised that I'm actually quite surprised that that Qliphort got game 1. I mean, I don't think this is a very good matchup for Qliphort. I mean, really all you have is, I mean, unless you get lose a turn. Okay, yeah. If you get lose a turn like early, then yeah, I could see you kind of wrecking Infernoids, but like outside of lose a turn, I don't think that Qliphorts really main deck anything that Infernoids care about. And like Infernoids can make, they have a lot of mass removal. They can make Exciton Knight, they can make Backrows really easily because of Decatron. He's calling one off of the reasoning. We see a Voidseer hit the graveyard and a Regeki. I feel like we saw this before. And a Decatron. Is it me or is this like deja vu? Because I could have swore the last time he activated reasoning, it was like the same exact cards. There was a Voidseer and a, you know what I mean? Well, no, maybe that was off Charger Light Brigade. Okay, I could be lunching. But anyways, he definitely went, he definitely didn't hit Decatron off of the last time he used reasoning, because he called one both times. Both times hits a Decatron, doesn't get summoned, but the last time he used reasoning, he got so much stuff in his graveyard that it didn't really matter. Now it looks like C. Wiley is definitely not in a position of strength. Although those 2 Infernoid mills kind of helped. He can't actually summon them, but you know, just getting Infernoids in the graveyard is pretty good. If he has something like a mistake, this would be huge for him. I guess he does not. I said mistake because it's just good against Qliphort, and because Just GF opened with Summoner's Art, which obviously would have been stopped by a card like Mistake. Gets himself a Scout. And I mean, now I think it's as simple as getting a Sacrifice and just running over Lila, and you pretty much just win the game from there. I tend to just ignore Infernoids when they set Backrow. Even if they have something like Royal Decree, it's not very good against Qliphort. Not in this position. Not when your opponent doesn't really need traps to win at this point. Alright, so he uses that duality. I'm looking at MST and thinking that's pretty good here. Even if you blind MST, you know that your opponent doesn't have an MST down. Otherwise, they would have MST'd Scout. So a blind MST is actually pretty good here. Like, I'd feel very comfortable blind MSTing, maybe hitting a Torrential or a Ring of Destruction. Honestly, I really don't have any guesses at what the back row could be. So he does open up with the Sacrifice play. That's the play that I thought he needed to go for. Activates a Necro Valley. Ouch. Injury upon insult. I wouldn't be shocked by a Royal Decree. I just don't think it'll do anything. I think the Necro Valley was the seal on the coffin. I don't really see, unless he has a 1-for-1, maybe. Like, that would be pretty much it, where he could 1-for-1 for Decatron. He could send Petru. He could pop the Necro Valley, and you know, maybe he could try and do something that way. But even then, that doesn't really answer the Scout. I just think that his opponent hit too many good cards. He does have the Decatron, doesn't even need the 1-for-1. Unfortunately, that's met with Fiendish Chain. I wonder if he has an MST that maybe he's just been saving. He has a Voidseer, the next best thing. Then plays Torrential Tributes. Okay. You can't do that. Cause you can't respond to a summon. Wait, what? You can't respond to a summon with Fiendish Chain. Like, I don't think your activation is correct anymore. I don't think his activation timing is correct anymore. I could be wrong. I mean, if the chain goes as planned, then obviously Torrential would resolve before the, what's it called? Oh, he's gonna activate Fairy Wind, not Fairy Box. Fairy Box is a card I play. Now I wonder why he just didn't use that on Scout. Didn't he have that? He had that turn 1. I just would have used that on Scout. I guess he was trying to get a lot of mileage out of it. But when he gets to Sacrifice, he's obviously just gonna, what's it called? Now he's gonna hit everything on the field. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So both players will take 1,800. It's actually a lot of damage. I think I counted 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or excuse me, yeah, 6 cards. Voidseer counts as a card too. because it was already, Void Seer was activated before Fairy Wind, so both players will take 1800. It's actually a decent amount of damage. I don't know how relevant it is. Usually you try and get the, oh no, he doesn't. He's gonna send Onu. Oh, okay. Now, I was gonna say, why would just GF not activate, why would he not activate, Sacrifice? But he's gonna get another scout. I guess I was wrong about the Torrential. I apologize. Alright, so now this is really just gonna boil down to what is the card in Wily's hand. Now that Onu is actually looking really good here, because not only can he do a ton of battle damage, but he can actually just negate the scout when it's played, and he can just put Onu back in the graveyard. And even if he does use scout, he's looking at having 1600 life points with no monsters on board. Although he could pin monsters back and just hide them in defense mode. But I don't know. I feel like Wily just, I mean, maybe that was like a massive outplay. That shows you how important Decatron is. And with that second scout gone, man, he just has to win the duel without scout. That card is actually banished. It is not going to the graveyard. Alright, so both players have even card advantage. The difference is, obviously, card advantage is a little different in Infernoids because your graveyard is like a second resource, essentially. You know, it's an additional resource. Can't say second resource, but it's an additional resource. Oh, wow, he had 3 more to summon Onu? Oh, this game's over. He activates lose a turn. I would just use Onu's effect. Yeah, I would just use Onu's effect right then and there. Like, it doesn't make any sense to leave that active. Oh, and then he has the Untundale, Sakaruni. Maybe he has another lose a turn or something like that. Oh, and he doesn't. He couldn't have had, by the way, he couldn't have had something like a Mirror Force to stop the Untundale, because we saw that he had Void Seer, but the constant offensive pressure by Infernoids is just, it proves to be too much for Qliphort. It feels like Qliphort takes some time to set up, and Infernoids are just not willing to give you that time. You see how everything that the Infernoid player did was like within the first 2 turns? Qliphort like the, you know, set up, we're gonna play off scout, we're gonna get a sacrifice, we're gonna set up, and we're gonna do these tribute summons. Infernoid's like, no, go. So anyways, thank you guys for watching as always.